DC. Okay, back on here. Just got back from a trip to Asheville. Pretty tired. We saw Cave In last night at the Gray Eagle. Our friend's band from Johnson City, Tennessee, Haal, opened the affairs. The middle group was an industrial act. I think Author and Punisher, something like that. But yeah, so that was the gig. I left out Saturday morning and got right to Harvest Records at open. And as it turns out, the other guy that was standing outside of the shop was a guy that owns a record store in Texas. And I'm trying to think of the name of the damn record store. Cactus Records. I think maybe in Houston. I could be wrong about that. At least that's what the shop owner at Harvest told me. I was in there for a while. My buddy Joe ended up coming by there, and then we took off from there. But yeah, Cave In was touring their new record, Heavy Pendulum. And this is one of the pressings that I have here. Killer. They played a bunch of songs off that record. My friend Joe jumped up on stage at the end of the gig and grabbed the set list from the drummer, gave it to me. So they played a bunch of the new stuff, like New Reality, Blood Spiller, or a couple. They opened with those two. Those are two new ones. A couple songs they played off of Perfect Pitch Black, which I was surprised. They also played Big Riff off of Jupiter, which was awesome on the encore. Well, they played two from the encore. They also played Sing My Loves, which is a fan favorite. So that's the set list from the gig. I do have the Dig records from the Dig at Harvest, and I also have one batch of records that I was able to pick up at Tip Top because he ended up staying open to the end of the month instead of when I thought he was staying open too, so I was able to get another stack of 40% off stuff. This I grabbed because I had the deal on it. Melvin's Cowboy, this 7-inch with Plainfield Hillbilly on it. This is like a boot on Smelly Records. And it's interesting because the Melvin side isn't even the Melvins. It's some other band, like just short excerpts of them going bantering with the people in the front rows. You know, one thing like that will start and then it'll fade out, and then another one will start and it'll fade out, and like both the whole thing's like that. It's not really music. Well, I mean, there's music on it, but it's a weird fucking 7-inch. I may hold on to it because it is so weird, but it may also not get held on to. This is definitely getting held on to. Muhal Richard Abrams on the Black Saint label. Spy Humanisty, if I said that correctly. But this has also got Roscoe Mitchell on it, also from the Art Ensemble of Chicago. Yusef Yancey on theremin. Very interesting. I'll show you everybody's favorite Black Saint label. Love this label. If I see something on this label, I need to pick it up. That's just rule of thumb, or Soul Note. It's going to be good stuff from the mid 70s, early 80s. This one I think is from 1980. Yeah, Muhal Richard Abrams on piano and synthesizer. Not one you see very often. Never repressed. I don't think many of the Black Saint titles have been reissued, other than maybe the Billy Harper, which probably is a boot. I don't know. Maybe there's an official reissue. I think John Digital Gramophone and myself wiped Luke out of his Fela, so he doesn't have to move any. Got a couple of the live albums. This one's Volume 1 live in Berlin. VIP, Vagabonds and Power. Dope. It's Fela. It's killer Nigerian shit. 1979 on this one. Yeah. And then JJD live at Calcutta Republic, and another really cool cover and back cover artwork. This one I think is from 70. 7, and these are the Knitting Factory reissues that were done very well. I'll show you what they replicate the labels and the different labels too that put out the Fela records. This one's got a nice insert, and it's on. They replicated the Calcutta Records label on this one, and these sound really good. They did just such a great job with these, and especially since they pressed so many of them, and so many titles that they had to take on because this catalog's immense. But that's just what you grab what you can with Fela when you see it. So these were, God, maybe not even $10 with the 40% off. Maybe, well, maybe they were a little more than that. Maybe more than that. Sal George, Carolina. I've been meaning to pick this up, and so on the discount grabbed it. Mr. Bongo reissue from 2002. This was originally put out, I think, years prior on CD. Great singer-songwriter. Of course, known for The Life Aquatic when he sang all the Bowie tunes in Portuguese. I was hoping to actually find that record, but he only had this one, so I grabbed it. I'm looking forward to spinning this. But great Brazilian artist. Sal George. His performance at Primavera Sound a few years back is absolutely primo. Mark Moulin, Placebo Years, 1971 to 74 on Music on Vinyl. Picked this up because of Philip Catherine on electric and acoustic guitars. Well, actually Francis Ware is on acoustic, but Philip is on electric, and he's one of my favorite freaking guitarists of all time. And of course Mark Moulin on synthesizers, keyboards, and arrangements of everything here. I've got some of his records, and I've got some of the Placebo records, but I don't have Ball of Eyes, and that's got some of those tracks on here. That record's freaking insane to try to find. Never seen a copy anywhere. Celestial Love from Sun Ra on Modern Harmonic. This was one of his later efforts from '82. Great lineup. June Tyson's on vocals, who's near and dear to my heart. Marshall Allen, John Gilmore, Danny Ray Thompson. Yeah, and I hear there's a new album coming from Sun Ra Orchestra. So this is a later one when Sun Ra was still in the group. And 2020 is when Modern Harmonic reissued this one. And finally got around to getting it. So that was the final dig at Tip Top. Because it's it. Today is the 31st. And I'm exhausted, so I'm not going back over there. So to the dig from Harvest Records in Asheville, the best record store for me in Asheville. Every time I go there, I find killer stuff. The two downtown, I find stuff, but it's usually reissue, like Static Age, and I forget the other one down. The record stores downtown, they just, I don't know, they just don't do it for me like Harvest does, and it's hard for me to get over to West Asheville sometimes, even though it's not that far. Just usually agenda gets in the way, and so this time I drove straight there. And my friend Joe ended up meeting me there a few hours later after I was able to pretty much dig through the entire shop. And it was interesting there to see Cave In at the Gray Eagle, and I found a 7-inch with Cave In on it. And real early. I mean, look at how young these guys look. Yeah, playing Pivotal from 1995. It's Salad Days in Boston, Mass. So that's seriously early Cave In. It's going to be the heavier stuff. End of the Century Party playing Roswell is the other cut on this. So that's a cool 7-inch. And this is on, what label is this on? It's on a label out of Indianapolis, I think. There's the Cave In side. Yeah. It's got a bunch of inserts. Let's see what we got here. I ain't gonna mess with it. To the big find on the wall. I believe this is from '76, but this is an original U.S. copy of King Tubby's meets Rockers Uptown. Augustus Pablo with the killer lineup on this. Robbie Shakespeare and Aston Family Man Barrett on bass. Earl China Smith on guitar. That's one of Sure's boys. Carlton Barrett on drums. Of course, Augustus Pablo on organ, piano, and clarinet. Richard Dirty Harry Hall on tenor sax. Bobby Ellis trumpet, and Vincent Gordon on trombone. Grail record. And yeah, I'll show you the original Clock Tower label. So I was very, very stoked to find this there. Not expecting to see early original reggae at Harvest, and they had another King Tubby as well. Another dub record of his. That's classic stuff. Was surprised to see this. I didn't even know it existed. For alto, Anthony Braxton on Delmark. This is a gatefold. Double LP. Looking forward to spinning this. I just got in the door. The guy at the shop was stoked that I picked this up. He says the only Anthony Braxton he keeps in his collection, so that says a lot. I love the Delmark label out of Chicago, so that was a nice find. Let's see what else we got here. From Harvest Records. Surrealistic Pillow, Jefferson Airplane. Some classic rock going into the collection. Been meaning to pick this up for a long time. Ever since I got turned on to one of their other records by Maslow. What one was it? The live record. It's freaking killer. The bass player blows my mind. But yeah, Grace is hell of a voice, easy on the eyes. Yeah, and this is just great San Francisco psych. The early stuff, right? I mean, and this was $10, and it's a cheap. I think it's a cheap version, but it's got a decent sleeve here, and it's freaking an RCA Victor, and it's minty. So I couldn't pass on that. I'm seeing higher prices on this record for, probably better press, I guess. I don't know. It's no MoFi. But yeah. Jefferson Airplane. Everybody knows that one. And then last but not least, I've been looking for this for a while. Actually had found I think a reissue copy at Angry Mom, and I ended up not getting it from Dom. But Steve Reich, drumming music for mallet instruments, voices, and organ. 6 pianos. Deutsche Grammophon, an original. German, I believe, copy of this. Yeah. 1973 maybe? Not sure about the year, but everything's here and it's in perfect shape. So that's a big one for the Avant Classical collection. That was the dig at Harvest. Stick around for killer footage of Haal and Cave In. Peace.